All right, people, it's Menenberg again. And this video, I wanted to just talk for a moment, if I could, about the remote learning situation. You have no doubt received emails from the school district, whatever school district that may be, about what the plan is at this point for the fall. And I'm going to start by saying the spring of remote learning 2020 was an unmitigated disaster. It didn't work. We didn't have a good time. Well, I mean, we had a few laughs on some of the video calls, but in terms of actual like teaching and productive learning environment, it really wasn't there for a lot of reasons. Mostly probably my fault. I mean, I'm going to be honest. It's when in doubt, you blame someone else. In this case, your teacher was Menenberg. Blame me. It was my fault. Your learning wasn't awesome. That being said, we are heading into a little bit of an uncertain time as we go into the fall. There's all kinds of political commentary going on, a lot of noise, pro, con, you should go back to school, you should not go back to school, why do you hate kids, why do you want them to die, all this stuff. Ignore the noise for a minute, people. Let's talk about what's really going on here. At this point, our district is set to go back in a hybrid model. That means some of you, we're going to basically have a half class every day, okay? So meaning half of the class will be full of students. So we'll have like 12, 13 students, whatever it is. And then the next couple days, there'll be another group. And then there'll be one day in the middle where we have remote learning for everyone. And then there's probably going to be a third group of students whose parents or whoever, for whatever reason, underlying health conditions, general fear, whatever it is, that elects to not go to school at all. Okay, so there's three groups of students. And then, of course, there's the teachers who have their situations that kind of prevent them from being there. There's all kinds of situations that might arise that we just haven't anticipated and certainly can't totally plan for. The bottom line is me, Menenberg, I am going to do anything and everything that I can to help my students prepare and become successful in whatever class of mine they're taking, okay? So if that's AP World and Honors English, we're gonna set you up. If it's Intro to Public Speaking, I'm gonna set you up as best I can. Our experience with the remote learning or with the hybrid learning or whatever it is going to be less than, most likely, it'll be less than it would be under normal day-to-day school situation, okay? But it is the reality that we're living in, okay? It is the reality that we're living in currently. A pandemic is a horrible situation. It's nothing anybody would desire, I hope. And it's something that the world has seen many times, though. And if you look to the most recent massive pandemic, the Great Spanish Flu pandemic, that was the most deadly pandemic in human history by sheer numbers, it lasted for like 2 years. I mean, this was a long time. And so I just have to tell you that because we need to kind of come to terms with the fact that things are not going to be normal for a bit, probably, okay? That doesn't mean we can just check out and not start learning or check out and not engage and try to improve ourselves, whether that's through our education or just our social stuff or just our general sense of morality and with our society and all that stuff. We can always get better. Whatever the surrounding circumstances are, we can always improve. And so I want to mention that because amidst all of the debate and all the political nonsense that's going on right now about this whole going back to school thing, what I don't want any of you to walk away from or think about or dwell on all the time is this fear. There's a real problem in our world when all that we have is fear. Okay. Now, I'm not getting into the science. I'm not going to get into the stats or the polls or the studies or anything like that. I simply am saying this. If you live your life defining it by fear, then you will live a very, very muted existence. You will live a life of regret because you will be missing out on many, many, many opportunities. Now, I'm not saying you throw caution to the wind and just do whatever the heck you want because Menenberg told me not to live in fear. I'm just saying that if you don't act, if you don't live simply because you're afraid of something bad that's going to happen, then let me tell you, my friends, it's going to be a sad, lonely existence. And whether that means going back to school or going out or taking a walk in the park, it doesn't really matter. You got to do some stuff in your life. You got to live a little bit. You can't just be handicapped by fear. Okay. So at the end of the day, school is going to happen. The learning is going to happen. And Menenberg is going to do his part to help you succeed. I'd love for you to like, comment, or subscribe. And most importantly, tell me what you're feeling. Tell me what you're thinking about in terms of remote learning, about going to school in the fall. What do you think about in terms of your friends, your teachers, your school environment? What do you need? What would be helpful from me or your other teachers or your school or your district or whatever? What would be helpful and meaningful to make this year a success? All right, please hit like and send it to me and let me know what I can do. I'm going to talk to you later on. We'll have more videos this summer. Hope you're doing well, people. Take care.